Hey there guys, it's Joey and this is connecting with the Ogham bear. It looks like it's written Beith, but it's pronounced bear or bay depending on the guide. It's the Birch. This is the Ogham of new beginnings, bringing change, birth of new ideas, general good fortune. From Woodfield's book, the divination meanings are given as new beginnings, a fresh start, renewal and birth, whereas the reverse meanings are to let go of the past or you will remain stagnant. From the tree lore, one of the first trees to flower in spring, it has been linked to renewal, banishing evil spirits and protecting children. The first message written in the Ogham alphabet was Beith, warning the sun god Lu of his wife's abduction, and it has been associated with sun and light ever since. Birch was also traditionally used in making witches' brooms. Magical uses, new endeavours, invoking Lu. Powers of purification bring us our hope, protection. The tree carries an ancient wisdom but appears forever young. The birch is considered female and goes by many names: the white goddess, the lady of the woods, the ribbon tree, the silver maiden, and the birchen maiden are all well-known versions. Associated with Bridget, many of the sabbats use birch wood as part of the festival. In bulk, the white bark is used to symbolise the return of the light, along with the candles. At Beltane, the birch was the first choice of the tree used to make the maypole, cut at dawn and decorated and danced around in old fertility rites, later to be burned with ash logs in the Beltane fire. At Samhain, some of the New Year festivities use birch to beat out the old or malign spirits from the hearth as a symbol of the returning light and rebirth. Magical charms using birch. Write a wish or a promise on birch bark with the charcoal-like tip of a burnt birch twig. Keep it safe and secret, and your wish will come true. A tree of extreme hardiness, birch thrives in places where oak would die. It's also considered to be associated with the tarot card, the Star, and to cool any violent, passionate anger or overreaction emotions, sit for a while beneath the birch tree with your back against the trunk. If it isn't possible, take something of birch into your hands and sit alone and quiet. Its innocent energy will channel your strong feelings into wiser ways. Carry a birch twig cut from a branch as protection against malign influences. Burn birch bark or dried leaf on its own as part of an incense at the beginning. As an incense for new beginnings or before a journey. The White Lady of the Wood stands slender and graceful with long branches reaching into the sky, most often found growing in groves. People who have been claimed by birch tend to be very gentle in nature and do not stand alone, but are joined to others as supportive and close allies, showing devotion to their beliefs and having a strong desire to make others happy. The Ogham are divided into classifications of chieftain, shrub, peasant and bramble. Beith is a chieftain and relates to the tarot card, the Star, as we've already mentioned. It represents the bardic grade of Druidry, the youngest of the ranks. Resonates with the number 1, the colour white, pheasants, the white cow, and the fly agaric mushroom. We may have to put a fly agaric mushroom on here. Yes, we will. Off camera. I love those. Those are the red ones with the white spot. Talisman represents the birch. He was the offspring of Cal and Cadwyn. In the Arthurian legend, he is known as Merlin. However, the title of Merlin is actually for the chief bard amongst the Druids, not a name. And it's a title that passed from person to person. So it's also associated with lunar energies as well. So given that it reaches into the sky and is all to do with light, it has been associated with all three, with lunar energies, with solar energies and with star. So here is my Ogham. Isn't it pretty? And then we have a path down the front with the Ogham itself being quite near the beginning. Witch's broom, obvious reasons. Witch's cauldron for symbol of rebirth, beginnings. All things come from the goddess, all things start with death and are reborn. And then we have sun down the bottom, star on the branch, and the new moon up the top with some of the branches and then some of the markings to mark it out as a birch tree. Here within the markings I tried to make it look like the markings, but it's actually a goddess symbol with all the spirals. Spirals for the cycle of life obviously, and then candles for in bulk and beginnings and renewal and birth. So I'm going to add a little toadstool off camera, but up here I think, and that will be it. So I hope you enjoyed this drawing. Many blessings.